Hello, welcome back. Now, for this chapter, we're going to focus on the most important phase, which is migration and modernization phase. All the succeed, we're going to reflect in this phase. But also, all the risk, we're also going to reflect in this phase. Now, as I mentioned last time, on phase two, on the mobilization, with all the data, which is through the, regarded through the mappings and through the, agentless application data discoveries and, and also those landing zones and, all those, automatic vending machines, we're able to create the data through, you know, uh, through the Amazon data discovery services towards the migration hub. A migration hub should able to got all those data. Those data information we're going to store in the S3, and those data analytics we're going to generate by the Athena, and the data inside will also come up with business intelligence warehousings analytics. So you should be able to cover like servers and applications like data and also you should able to come up with best practice recommendation in terms of migration of the applications and others. Now this is uh, a typical dashboard of the migration hub. You're going to look at it like say the apps. How many apps running the CLCI MERP and inventory, logistic, how many apps are running on the logistics, 10, 12, 50, how many server running the marketing, and what sort of database they're running. And, with the dashboard, you should ever come up with the things like, and also you should able to cover like, application like migrations, how many is already migrated and how many hadn't been migrated and how many is in the process of migrations and migration timeline, etc. Now, on the migration phase, we're going to have 7R strategies: retain, retire, relocate, rehost, replatform, repurchase, and refactors. And we are going through them one by one. Retain. Let's say if you're going to have 80 Active Directory server, or maybe the doing the federal single sign-on, or maybe the DNS server domain controllers, and maybe you have some of the file server which is do the file sharing. Probably you can't just move them, ship them. You still need to retain them. Maybe you can return some of the return decommission some application that said this is regarding the maybe the remote monitoring SNMP type of things, or maybe the a legacy CCTV type of monitoring things, which is you can retire them. You can also have some quick wins by generate by using the relocate strategy. If you have a lot of vMware servers and those vMware servers use vMware, you can leverage AWS vMware cloud and just replicate the data and crossover, and they can have vMware sitting in a vMware server. It can be very fast and very easy to do that. You can also doing what they call rehost, which is you're going to, let's say you're going to have some virtual machine server and or maybe physical server, and you can do through the V2V backup the data, or P2V physical to virtual machine backup, and regardless of manual, automatic, manual, you're going to install the agent or agentless and configure the file and then get the data crossover by using SMS or SMS, or maybe you can use automatic tools, as I just mentioned. You can also do some re-platforms, such as you can use like database migration services, DMS, to migrate the database from the Oracle or MS SQL towards MySQL, open source, or maybe to Arona DBs. And then you can also do the repurchases through, let's say, the legacy hardware. You decommission them and repurchase the, bring or you OU license scheme in the marketplace. You can also do the reflections. For instance, you're going to have some legacy, AS400 or maybe the middle range Unix server like Solaris or ARX, and you can do some of the code redevelopment, and by leverage the code development like the API gateway, Lambda functions, and state machine, SQS, and Q type of thing. You can decouple them and make those code in the modernization or cloud native. And after that, you can validate the data and you can transit validated data, do the UATs, transit them to production. Now, the best practice or recommendation is, as you're going to balance the 7 Rs. Rehost and replatform usually it's you're going to have like 60 to 7% of rehost, which is moving those physical or virtual machine instances into the cloud, and also moving those database server to the cloud, moving those SAP server or ERP server to the cloud, and also repurchase things like marketplace. It's relatively easy. In terms of moving, retain, and retire and relocate the percentage. All the different organizations, they should able to based on their business requirement and objectives, they should balance the different ratios. Now, in the next slides, we're going to look at the replatforms.